Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. No arena in that land. No arena in that land. No arena in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. No arena in that land. No arena in that land. No arena in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where we're bound, where we're bound. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There is freedom in that land. There is justice in that land. There is freedom in that land where we're bound, where we're bound. There is freedom in that land. No arena in that land. There is freedom in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Last time. So come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound. When I say stop the, you say land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. When I say stop the, you say land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. When I say stop the, you say land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Now make some noise if you're going to stop the land grab in 2024. My name is Nicholas O'Rourke. I am the council member at large, minority leader here in the city of Philadelphia, and I am proud, peacock proud, honeymoon happy as they say, to be here to help facilitate this fabulous, important teach-in so that we can save Chinatown this year. As an organizer, one of the first lessons that I learned is that the first revolution is internal. That before we can see change on the outside, there's got to be a revolution, an understanding, a foundation built up from the inside that we can realize in our reality. And so that's why we're here today, to make sure that we got our analysis down, that we share our experiences together, that we connect with each other so we can build the power to make sure that we stop the land grab this year. Amen? Amen. All right. That having been said, we want to make sure that this is the year, 2024, that we see an end to this. We're mindful of the importance of making sure that folks have contracts to be able to live in this city, but we're also mindful that when a community tells you that a project that you're building in their area is not what they want, and they have reasons for that, then it's not for us to be flippant with those demands. It's to meet those expectations and save Chinatown. Today we're joined by a number of folk from across this city as well as across the region who have something to share, insights to give as we are building our power and struggling together to make sure that we protect our land. And so we're going to hear from a number of those folk today. I want to announce a roll call of those who have opposition to this arena in Chinatown. And so I want to ask that the speakers stand up to introduce themselves. Several of these folks that we want to hear from today. The first of them is the No Arena Washington Square West, Apoorva Tandon and Marissa Zal.
How about now? All right. Thank you so much, Council Member. So my name is Apoorva.
Take the mask down.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. My name is Apoorva, and this is Marissa. We are residents of Washington Square West, the neighborhood that shares our northern boundary with the proposed arena site. We've come together with other neighbors, some of them are here, to form a volunteer group called No Arena Wash West, and to represent our very strong, over 75% by a recent survey, opposition in our neighborhood, in addition to Chinatown's opposition. We want to express that this isn't Chinatown's fight alone, and they are not alone in it. This is our fight too, because our neighborhood too stands to suffer from many of the same impacts that would happen to Chinatown. Our neighborhoods share more than a boundary. We share an interest in keeping our small businesses open, our rent stable, our streets clean, our emergency ambulance and fire services functioning, and most importantly, our downtown being developed with the interests of the local residents in mind, not the interests of suburban tourists and suburban billionaires who do not live here, do not see our lives, and frankly, have a terrible track record of gentrification elsewhere in the city.
We are calling and visiting City Council, and we're giving them research on the harmful impacts of arenas nationally, which you can check out at the QR code on the back of the flyers. You can also join us next Saturday at St. Luke and the Epiphany on 13th Street between Spruce and Pine at 4 p.m. Oh, St. Luke and the Epiphany, 13th Street between Spruce and Pine, next Saturday at 4 p.m. to keep working on strategies. We are in solidarity with all of you against this hostile attempt to turn Philly's downtown into a playground for everyone that doesn't live here and walk through it every day. Thanks for having us.
When I say Chinatown, you say is not for sale. Chinatown is not for sale. Chinatown is not for sale. Chinatown is not for sale. Let's clap it up for David Acosta.
Can you all hear me? Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. This is an important fight. Thank you all for being here. This is an important fight. My name is David Acosta. My name is David Acosta. As an arts and cultural worker, I know the value of communities and the value of cultural treasures like Chinatown. That value cannot be measured in dollars. It is measured in beauty, in life, in vibrancy, and cultural preservation and affirmation. This arena stands to kill all of those things. As artists, we say no. Thank you.
Stop the land grab. Y'all forgot that quick. When I say stop the, you say land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Let's clap it up for my brother Will Gross.
Thank you, Council Member. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Will Gross. I'm a small business owner in South Philadelphia. I'm the second ward leader, the Democratic second ward leader. And I also organize with RICE, which is the restaurant industry for Chinatown's existence, as well as PCON, which is Philadelphia City of Neighborhoods, which is an organization that's dedicated to organizing democratically open wards, and or any wards for that matter, but also registered community groups as well. Chinatown, for my family, represents the place where my parents had their first date. It represents where my family would connect over the years since I was a child. It represents one of the only places during the pandemic that my mother felt safe with the rising tide of anti-Asian hate that we witnessed and that she experienced, and that many people in this room experienced in my family as well. Small businesses are the lifeblood of so many of our communities, are deeply connected to our communities. I know for a fact that my small business would not be able to sustain 6+ years of construction, the devastation that we will see just down the street if this goes through, not to mention the day-to-day struggle that the arena itself will pose. So I am proud that so many organizations across the city and so many wards have stepped up to say no to this arena, and I thank you all so much.
Chinatown is not for sale. Chinatown is not for sale. Let's clap it up for Sue Lin, Chinatown business owner.
Hi everyone, my name is Sue Lin. I'm a restaurant owner in Chinatown. I also grew up in Chinatown. I have 2 kids who go to schools in Chinatown. It is hard to run a small business. It's long hours. We rely on our suppliers to be able to get to us. We rely on customers to be able to get to us. Since COVID, 30% of Chinatown's restaurant business relies on deliveries and takeout. The block streets of 6 years and construction and the 150 events a year will kill us. We are tired of people telling us that it will be good for us. We live here, we do business here, we know our community the best. That's why stopping this arena is a matter of survival for us. Thank you.
As I said, we are here and we're joined by folk from across the city and really across the region who have insights to share, information to give us that will help us. You can't hear me? You can't hear me? Louder? I'm not loud enough? The idea, is that better? Yes. Okay. The idea is for us to hear from folks who have some similar experiences, who have been a part of similar struggles, to make sure that we are well informed and sharing our experiences because we know that it helps build our power. So we're going to be joined by Camille Boggin, who's a member of No Arena in Chinatown Solidarity, which is also known as NACAS, as well, who is also a former resident of Cincinnati, where a soccer stadium destroyed her community. And she's going to help us understand why this fight matters. Can we clap it up again for Camille Boggin?
Great. Hi everyone, my name is Camille, and I'm a resident of South Philadelphia. I want to take a few moments to talk about why this fight is so important, and it isn't just about Chinatown, although that is why we're gathered here today. The fight for communities to determine what happens to them and what happens to their livelihood, self-determination, is not only a long one, where many people today have started and continued this fight, but also one that is happening in nearly every state and major city in the United States and even beyond this nation's borders. A few years ago, in my hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, billionaires displaced 17 Black residents and small business owners and destroyed what was left of a historic Black church for a Major League soccer stadium in downtown Cincinnati. And just like in Chinatown, over half of this very same neighborhood, the West End, was bulldozed in the mid-20th century for a highway. That highway displaced 25,737 Black residents and has since then been quartered in by a downtown redevelopment business plan, which has also included a convention center, events, organizations, and now a stadium. I joined this fight because people have every right to oppose predatory and exploitative development by the rich, development that extracts invaluable land, resources, and history from existing communities for personal gain. And now I'm going to read a statement from Akanke Washington, who is a former resident of Brooklyn, New York, where her community was impacted by the Barclays Center, an arena built right downtown. Unfortunately, Akanke could not be here in person, but I am honored to share her story and her community's experiences with you all today.
The plan for the 76ers to build their arena on top of a vibrant community mirrors the construction of the Barclays Center in downtown Brooklyn. The tale has been woven to describe this development as a response to the community's desire for a Brooklyn basketball team, the Nets. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you drive to downtown Brooklyn now and gaze upon the monstrous building on top of the old Navy Yard, there is nothing there to remind you of the vision before the community lost its battle with the rich. Where the Barclays Center now sits was initially supposed to be an Atlantic Yards development, a 10-year project that would provide thousands of units of affordable housing. Bruce Ratner used his development company, Forest City Ratner, to purchase the area, and as usual, he promised affordable housing. The original proposal was never realized. What was ushered in was the Barclays Center. The developers brought in Jay-Z, a rapper who was from Brooklyn, to encourage community support. Jay-Z became part owner of the Brooklyn Nets and the Barclays Center. This development was sold as the revitalization of downtown Brooklyn. It is clear how the development was good for him. The community knew the development would increase traffic and cause rents to skyrocket, ushering in gentrification, the polite word for ethnic cleansing and displacement. They fought it. They protested and filed lawsuits. The Barclays Center still went up. In June of 2016, the developer offered a lottery for 10 affordable apartments for families of 4 or more. 10. The community was given 10 apartments after $200 million in tax credits and abatements. To date, residents in Brooklyn have an ongoing battle with the arena over noise and traffic pollution. Although the city issues fines, they are small and insufficient to compel substantial change. As to Brooklyn revitalization, in 2023, the Barclays Center reported a net loss of $76 million. The community did not receive affordable housing, nor any development of small local businesses, and the project continues to lose money. The pattern of developers promising to meet the community's needs, receiving tax abatements and credits, and then doing the bare minimum to meet community needs is consistent and ongoing. This type of development is violent. It tramples on communities, disrupts memories, and rips people from the roots needed to ground them. And they do it everywhere, and our job is to fight it everywhere. Thank you.
And while Camille may be newer to the area, there are those who have been in struggles against development projects, arena projects, dare we say stadium projects in recent memory. Anybody remember that name, the Stadium Stompers? Folks who have exemplified what a successful struggle looks like to make sure that their land is not for sale and that they stop the land grab. Let's go ahead and put our hands together for Blanche Brown, who will read a solidarity statement from Jackie Wiggins with the Stadium Stompers. Let's clap our hands as they come.
First, I want to say it's just an honor to be with you here today. Everyone looks beautiful. My name is Blanche, and I served on the Stadium Stomper Steering Committee from 2017 to 2021. I also want to note that I'm also here representing Vox Populi, an art gallery and performance space at 11th and Callow Hill, and who all very much stand against the arena. This statement that I'm going to share with you today was written primarily by Miss Jackie Wiggins, a legend and a hero, who couldn't be here today, but all of the steering committee sends their well wishes. Before I read the formal statement, I was reading this over the few minutes before as we all sat down, and Temple University promised the exact same things and presented the exact same lies to the wider community. And so I just want to say that like developers will continue presenting these empty promises, and one of the core strategies that we used was, you know, walking through and showing how much these were lies. And that's my ad-lib moment, and I will now read this. We appreciate being asked to make a statement about the Chinatown Stadium travesty. In some ways, more than the hidden factors that seem to surface about how outrageous this objective is about building a sports arena in the heart of a historical and cultural neighborhood and community, is the utter arrogance of those with the dollars versus those with the fewer dollars, thinking that they can tackle the will of the people who possess the passion, resilience, and legacy of saying no. No to reducing the number of residents who live in an established Asian community because land grabbers have no respect about the heritage and culture of the elders, families, spiritual and social groups, nor businesses in this neighborhood, hence the people who live and thrive in Chinatown. No to having the continual assault on a cultural community when the greedy repeatedly over the decades have eyed Chinatown as a prized real estate aspiration that they think is their playground to plan for, make money from, and simply stated, take. The Stadium Stompers, organized in 2015, know all too well what happens when major intrusions for land by the powerful and greedy, be they from a local university, the city of Philadelphia, or developers, that pushback is going to happen. In North Central Philly, residents, students, and interested allies joined in the fight to stop Temple University's tyranny in the neighborhood from building a 35,000-seat football stadium, where the outcomes included tax increases, more trash, limited parking, questionable construction hiring practices, among other quality of life concerns. And a coalition formed. No Stadium, No Deal coalition as a support in the effort. This group was made up of clergy, nonprofit groups, civic associations, and others. It took approximately 4 years of informing, alerting, educating, meeting, mobilizing, and agitating to force Temple to leave the residents of North Central alone. We may have won, but we remain vigilant. At the Mother Bethel meeting a few weeks ago, one of the speakers said these few words that had the crowd cheering. Whose city is this anyway? Know this, Philadelphia is our city, not the developers, not select people looking for an in and favor from the influential and powerful, not elected officials, and not the billionaires. Continue to protest, increase the number of allies, and shame the greedy and moneyed. Educate the citizens of this city about land and how it is being used to change not only the architectural landscape of the city, but people's lives and livelihoods. Wishing all of you our very best in this righteous effort. Sincerely, the Stadium Stompers.
If I was in the streets, I'd ask, whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose city? Our city. Whose city? Our city. Whose city? Our city. Whose city? Our city. Stop the land grab. Hey, stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Sometimes we forget that we, in the midst of our struggling against the forces that would try to steal our land, grab our land, that we are a part of a tradition of righteous struggle. That it's not the first time that we have run into forces that wish to take what is rightfully ours. And so it's always good that we acknowledge in our movement spaces and in our community those elders, those senior statespersons, as it were, those long-standing comrades and those living legends. And we're joined by one today, a sister who really has been a mother of the movement in many, many ways, and is here to share with us the reality of the fact that we have won before. Let's put our hands together and receive at this time the co-founder of Asian Americans United and leader in the Save Chinatown Coalition, Debbie Way.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have you introduce me every time. We're sponsoring this poetry anthology about displacement, and there's some information over on that table. And we're asking folks to submit poems. And I decided from now until this anthology comes out, I'm gonna try to make my remarks in the form of a poem. This poem is called Chinatown, a book in verse. Forward. First, there is history. Chinatown's in danger, you say? How many times? Shh, remember. Chapter 1, they were called the driving outs. October 24th, 1871, Los Angeles, 500 men attack, 15 Chinese lynched, swinging on the corner in their community. September 1876, the entire Chinese population of Placer County. Chico, Weaverville, Wairika, where there were 2 Chinatowns, just like in Boise, Idaho. Truckee, the second largest Chinatown in the United States of America. By 1886, not a single Chinese remained. 1877, San Francisco, yes, even there. Chapter 2, so many Chinatowns. 1885, Tacoma, it only took 4 days to destroy 2 Chinatowns. So efficient, they called it the Tacoma method. Arcata, Crescent City, Ferndale, Eureka, not to be confused with Wairika. Eureka City Code, Section 190, quote, "No Chinese shall ever be employed either directly or indirectly on any work of this city," end quote. They called that one the Eureka Plan. It remained law until 1959. 1886, Seattle, every Chinese in the city dragged out, put on wagons, driven out, the wife of Chen Yihe, pregnant, dragged by her hair down the stairs from the 2nd floor. Small wonder she miscarried, and no one remembers her name. 1885, and then there was Rock Springs. As the cries of the Chinatown murdered echoed in the air, the women gathered on the plank bridge and cheered. Some Chinese died on the banks of Bitter Creek. Some Chinese died on the railroad bridge. Some Chinese burned in their home set ablaze. Was it 40? 50? Officially, 28. Sorted into 3 categories. Bodies found mutilated. Bodies found burned, bone fragments only. Arroyo Grande, Marysville, Merced, Nicholas, Pasadena, Redding, Red Bluff, Riverside, Tulare, and in 1882, they excluded Chinese by federal law, and that was that. Chapter 3, ethnic cleansing. Butte, Atlanta, Denver, Detroit, Newark, New Orleans, Oklahoma City, Omaha, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Portland, Maine and Oregon, Providence, Reno, Sacramento, St. Louis, Salem, Salinas, Salt Lake City, San Jose, San Luis Obispo, Spokane, Stockton, Washington, D.C. Chapter 4, Philadelphia. 1871, in the beginning, where can Chinese live? Skid Row, the Tenderloin, the place no one else wanted, 9th and Race Street. It is the Philadelphia Police Department's special Chinatown detail who raid, harass, arrest, its own form of driving out. But this time, we stayed. 1923, the Bell Telephone Building, and then the Broadridge Spur, the widening of Vine Street, the commuter rail tunnel, the gallery, the convention center. Chapter 5, the fights we win. The Vine Street Expressway designed to pave over the community, its exit ramps pushed back from our heart with our will, with our people. The federal prison, the baseball stadium, the casino, the other casino. In the lull between battles, we build what sustains us: churches, schools, housing, arts and cultural centers, small businesses. Patiently and carefully, we tend this place, coaxing community from the ravaged soil. Alternative endings. Alternative ending one. When the bulldozers come, they will plow through our hearts, sprinkle refuse on our relationships, bury our memories behind shiny facades, blind our vision with flashing neon. Bricks fall on the paths our ancestors walked, covering after images of their footsteps. Workers striding to their jobs, grandparents with grandchildren in tow, aunties and uncles rushing to celebrations, birthdays, weddings, and even funerals. After all, remembering our beloved is its own form of celebration. Steel beams shriek, bending under the weight of wrecking balls, drowning out the drumming to which our lions dance, the songs our children sing, the prayers we say to our ancestors. The dust of concrete and calcium sulfite dehydrate coat our tongues, and yet they say they cannot pronounce the words of our sustenance. Lobako batikai fonga. And when you're sick and need nurture, plain old joke, your elders gently blow on the spoons and hold to your lips. Alternative ending two. When the bulldozers come, their gears grind useless, confounded by our resistance, paralyzed by our determination, defeated by our history and the memories of a home they will never take, of a history we stubbornly remember. This time, the American oligarchs cannot be saved by their airbags of wealth. We are a wave crashing on the shores of history, changing the shape of what was before. Our relationships, our stories, our hearts, our songs, our voices, our children, our elders, our culture. We are the alternative ending, and this time, love wins. The end. Chinatown is legendary in our fights for the right to exist, but this time we are dealing with something that raises the bar on the level of our fight, the level of a global fight. If you see that it is impossible to find an affordable apartment, if you see it is impossible to buy a home, if you see hundreds of units of housing built across this city and wonder who lives there, know that we are not the only city seeing this. We are battling multi-billionaires whose equity firms are trading housing on Wall Street. They are trading a human right for private profit. And we are up against some of the biggest in the business. Billionaires connected to Blackstone, Apollo Global, and David Edelman's FS Investments. This project represents every bad thing about how developers now control our city and so many others across the globe. From dark money political donations to ethics violations for hiding lobbying money. From sneaking in legislation to getting the Inquirer to drop a story and change headlines in their favor. From putting their thumbs on the scales to manipulate the impact studies we asked for, to spending untold amounts of money on paying people to run around with petitions and flooding Chinese media with misleading information, and all while gleefully declaring they will gladly take state and federal dollars, public dollars, to support this land grab. This project is so large, so audacious, so universally unpopular, and yet after 20 months, still kept alive by our city government while our schools crumble and our homeless numbers soar. The heart of the city belongs to all Philadelphians, and right now, we draw the line in the sand to stop developers from their ever-expanding greed. We say no to displacement, no to corporate consumption of a fundamental human right, no to ignoring the communities whose roots are laid in this city for the sake of billionaires who only care about their wallets. This is the time to demonstrate to this city and to other cities who fight that we do not need to accept this world order. Gentrification is violence. Displacement is criminal. And it's time to say, this time, love wins.
A wealth of insight from our living legends and our elder, Debbie Way. We've heard now stories of the struggles that we have won and overcome before, and yet we are in a moment where we cannot kid ourselves. We are up against some forces. And Sergio Saya has been one of the leading organizers in our city to help make sure that progressive values and positions on humane issues are advocated for and won. And he's not stopping there. He's now joined with this effort as well. Let's receive at this time one of the lead organizers of Alliance for a Just Philadelphia to share with us what we are up against in this moment. Sergio Saya.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sergio Saya. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the political director of Reclaim Philadelphia, and today I'm representing Alliance for a Just Philadelphia as one of their facilitators. The Alliance is a multiracial, membership-based coalition of 30-plus grassroots movement organizations across Philadelphia. These organizations work across race, age, neighborhood, ability, language, and issue, and they both reach and represent thousands of people across Philadelphia. The Alliance was formed in 2019 ahead of the municipal elections, because as people who live and work in Philadelphia, we are grounded in the impact that our elected officials, particularly Philadelphia's mayor and city council, have on our everyday lives. Last year, like we did in 2019, the Alliance worked to create a people's platform to serve as a framework to address the root causes of the challenges our city faces. The 2023 People's Platform is a culmination of a 6-month process involving the input and votes of members and leaders citywide. It is a vision for our city that prioritizes communities over corporations and centers the needs of all Philadelphians, especially Black and brown, immigrant, refugee, poor, and working class residents who bear the brunt of decades of systemic disinvestment and neglect. Notably, our platform touches on some of the most high-profile issues in the city. And the Alliance member organizations voted to explicitly name and demand that both the mayor and city council Stop the Philadelphia 76ers from developing a stadium in Chinatown. Several of our member organizations have been leading the fight to save Chinatown. Many of these organizations are based in Chinatown, including my organization that shares office space with partner alliance organizations in the heart of Chinatown on 9th and Cherry. We know the threats that the community in Chinatown face are not new. Our city has a legacy of adopting policies that have damaged Black and brown and immigrant communities, especially in areas where families have limited economic resources, as we have seen most recently with the fight to save the UC townhomes in West Philadelphia. While our demand is written under a pillar for land and housing for all, we recognize that the fight for Chinatown is not only rooted in housing justice in Philadelphia, but also a fight for environmental justice against the construction and demolition, a fight for the justice around Chinatown's economy against a stadium that stands to threaten it, and clearly a fight for immigrant rights, with Chinatown representing a unique and rich mosaic of API immigrant communities, unlike any other in the city. And as we are learning in this teach-in, one that shares a long history of fighting back against predatory development. We know what we are up against. Rich and powerful interests and developers want to sow division. They want to create a narrative that they have already won. They say this is what Chinatown wants. The residents and business owners of Chinatown rise up and say, no, we resist. They say that input is needed from people not just in Chinatown, but from neighboring neighborhoods. And they rise up and say, not in South Philly, in Center City, in Washington Square West, we resist. Tens of thousands of signatures and postcards have been sent to the mayor and city council saying that this is not what the people of Philadelphia want. The fight to save Chinatown keeps making progress, and we should be hopeful and proud of all the work that has been done in this coalition. They are winning in the public arena. They are winning, but the other side keeps moving the goalposts. As we demanded in our People's Platform, the mayor and city council should do everything in its power to stop this arena, full stop. We know that no politician wants to be thought of as someone who doesn't think for themselves. To our elected officials, we share this warning. Don't let the developers fool you. The decision whether to stand with or against Chinatown will have generational impacts, not just for Chinatown, but in the areas surrounding it. Don't let these developers lead you by the nose. Think for yourselves, and think of who this will negatively impact. Stand with the people that are united here fighting back against this predatory development. And to the people in this room, we need you on our side to continue this fight. The Alliance is all in for this fight, and we need you to be there too. It's up to all of us to work together when developers try to divide us, to work united and push back against their lies. So please join us in this fight. Join an Alliance member organization leading in this fight, like Viet Lead or AAU. Join the Save Chinatown Coalition in joining city council sessions so you can show your support and elected officials can't continue ignoring what the people want. We need you to help spread the word and continuously stay engaged. There are big fights happening this year that will decide the future of Chinatown, and we need everyone in this room and everyone that you know to be throwing down together to make sure that we keep Chinatown going for decades to come. Thank you so much.
Chinatown is not for sale. 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 We have heard from a number of folks, including the founder of Asian Americans United. But now we're also joined by the continuation of that struggle, of that legacy. The new executive director returning back to the city. Had the beauty of meeting them this past week. Let's put our hands together at this time for Vivian Chang as they come.
How's this? Yeah. Love it, love it. Well, thank you for the warm welcome, Councilmember O'Rourke. And it truly brightens my heart to see so many of us gathered here. I know on a cold February afternoon, you could just be at home watching Netflix, but you chose to come here today, right? We all made this decision. Every day, we have to make these choices. So I just really appreciate you all being committed to continue this fight for the soul of our city. This movement is committed to saving Chinatown, but like you've heard from everyone today, this arena is just the tip of the spear, right? Because today is Chinatown. I mean, yesterday it was UC Townhomes, right? This is a continuation of a fight against predatory development. Because these billionaires, they're seeing Philadelphia as their playground, just to make profits, just to build whatever they want willy-nilly, but they don't see it as a city that millions of us call on as our home, that we need to be able to thrive. And speaking of profits, speaking of money, it's critical today that we call out what we saw last week from Councilman Squilla. So yeah, exactly. There's backtracking on the issue of public financing. So folks might have seen in December, Councilman Squilla was asked at a Power Town Hall if he would commit to not introducing any legislation on the arena until the developers make that binding commitment not to take public money. Now it sounds complicated, but it's pretty clear. We just asked him, will you make sure that there will be no public money spent on this arena? You know, and that's within his power to say, hey, I'm not going to introduce something until we have that commitment. And so at that town hall, Councilman Squilla said yes. He said he would not introduce until there's a commitment to not take any public funding. But when his constituents called him last week and thanked him for that commitment, he started backtracking. And that's a shame. And he said, you know, we can't say no to any state money, state federal dollars, and that, you know, we don't know what'll happen. But we know what'll happen. We know that if state subsidies, you know, federal grants go to this arena, they're happy to dip into it. That's our money going out the door to just an empty arena that's gonna sit there and destroy our communities. And that's why we're urging Councilman Squilla, you know, we urge him to make that right choice, to hold the legislation, and he's refusing to exercise that power in service of our people. So we, the people, have to flex our power, right? That's right. Yeah, thank you. And so how do we do that? How do we stop this arena? We keep fighting back. This is a multi-year fight. That's a big one that we want to share today. And I know that, you know, it's been 18 months already since it was announced, and that might feel like a lifetime ago. But these billionaires, they have a lot of money to burn, they got a lot of time to waste, a lot of tweets to send. So it's on us, you know, to keep showing up, right? We didn't win the Philly Stadium fight in a day. We didn't win the casino fight in a day, or the prison. So I think that's just something to emphasize, is like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And that doesn't mean that we're not here, you know, building a sustainable community together, right? It's not about burning out that quick. But I think it's helpful to think we're entering 2024. We know that this is something to continue, right? Just because it's been over a year does not mean we have lost. Not at all. We've actually won a lot. I'll share more. But I think that's just one thing I wanted to share, you know, as, you know, from my organizing experience, like these things, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, Philly Stadium wasn't defeated in a year, and that's okay. That's actually a sign that we're winning, because the more we delay, the more we cost them, the more we win. Yeah, that's right. So in the face of their billions of dollars, their ungodly profits, we bring organized people. And our strategy, that's turning what we have, you all, into what we need to get what we want. We have hundreds of people today. We have tens of thousands who signed the petition and took to the streets. We have the righteous anger of millions of people in this city who want to keep Philly livable for everyone, not just a playground for billionaires. What we need pressure on our elected representatives. We need a constant presence at City Hall every week so they can't pretend that we're not here and that we're not listening. We need voices from every neighborhood, every walk of life saying, no arena, That's constant visibility, you know, talking to your neighbors, at the barber shop, the dog park. That's a perfect opportunity. We need everyone to call out and call in our elected officials, right? And we know, for example, they're going to keep pushing these different narratives. They're going to be pushing their biased and bogus studies, which were supposed to drop in December, still delayed, and that's because the numbers don't add up. This money, the financing doesn't work out in their favor, and they're scrambling to make something up. But those studies that come out, that's not independent research. That's biased, that's bogus. So we gotta call that out. And we need each and every one of you to keep calling your council members every week. They hear it, they've told us, and that's, you know, just so important because they need to hear the people, the will of the people. And we, most of all, need to call it out when the developers try to lie to us and lie about us. Because what they really want is to divide us against each other. They want to sow these false narratives, these seeds of division, these bad faith stories, and they want to turn us against each other. And all we have is each other. You know, we have lots of other resources too, but what really sustains this work is the people next to you, right? Who brought you here? Or if you came alone, who are you leaving with, right? Who's your new partner, your new ally in this fight? Because what we want in the end, right, we have our haves, we have our needs. What we're fighting for is not just no arena on the heart of our city. That's huge, yes, no arena, first step. But what we want is a Philadelphia that's thriving, a Philly for the people. And every day that we are surviving in this fight is a victory. Every day is a win because the developers didn't crush the little guys today, and we keep pushing them out. So we know we're organizing for that long haul, but that also requires joy. So let's recount a little bit of what we won. We've already united a coalition of hundreds of organizations, neighborhood groups, businesses, everyone concerned about the arena. We built multi-generational, multilingual, and multiracial solidarity against it. And we've held them off on a lot of different fronts. We delayed their zoning, way past their initial deadline. We've called out their bogus studies, sent them scrambling still months later. And we brought thousands of people into the streets last summer. And we're not afraid to do it again. That's right. Yes. So how do we organize to win? We keep showing up. We find our allies, our long haul places for the movement, right? That's a political home, or that's your neighborhood group. You know, Sergio gave a shout out to some of them, AAU, APIPA, the No Arena Chinatown Solidarity, and even new groups like No Arena Wash West, right? Wherever you live, wherever you are, you can create this group or find a group that you can work with. So that's huge because, you know, again, speaking from experience, this work is so much easier when you have someone next to you. Just someone who said, hey, you going to that teach-in today? Let's go together. So I think I want to encourage you all today. If you already have someone, find another one. If you came here alone, find someone to talk to. And in that way, that's how we build this collective movement, and that's the only way we can win together. Thank you, everyone.
So you came to a church building, but you didn't come to church. The idea isn't just to sit up here and listen to someone talk at you, but the idea is for us as a community, a common union, to engage with each other, to learn from each other, to share with each other so that we can build our power. And so that's what I want you to do today at this point. We want to take a few minutes, as we say in the church, to turn to your neighbor. And I want you to go ahead and pair share. We want you to talk to the person next to you and talk about what actions that you will now take to save Chinatown. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out. Let's say it out loud. Let's clarify for ourselves what it is that we can do, how much we can engage. So again, I want you to turn to your neighbor. We're going to take about 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to engage with each other. Let's have some deep conversation. Let's raise questions with each other. And let's get clear about what it is that we're going to tangibly, actively do to make sure that we stop the land grab. Let's commit to it together.
deficit of open spaces in Citywide. We're also concerned about Chinatown and supporting folks that don't work. So we have members of our visiting council one thing I am where I we often say council person. There used to be Sherelle Parker, so we used to go to Anthony. When I have scripts for people there, right, start robbing here, I don't know, out against it. Right now, they're not scrolling, it's not calculated, but it's a scroll. As far as I know, recent ones, try to get sorry, out against it. Right into it, so I school doesn't represent us, it doesn't contact. And then I'll also ask not over there from all the doesn't matter. Still lobby. So I put that in the case, I think that was something I it's a big, it's independent living. Like this month, we have a lot of stuff going on, like this next month, we have next month, we have any activity.
So there's, I don't know if there's a chapter per se, but there's been a few SBSC events on campus. And one of the things they often talk about is this idea of like, I forget who, some professor or administrator had asked about the retail space and like, it's not being used for anything. Right. And I remember one of the things that we talked about was like, it's this prevailing idea. It's almost like I'm here at Philly Palestine Coalition and Case for Palestine member. It's almost like the Zionist moniker of a land without people, for people without land. This assumption that either nobody's using it or they're not using it correctly.
So I had to do some stuff. A couple of people that I helped edit his book, so it's like they have to work on children's books. Magnificent. Yeah, right across the that's cool. How is it?
But I know that off the bat,
after what we saw about shelters being maybe chosen for Professor Page, that ought to be. I'm waiting to see if people will raise that.
Chinatown is not for sale. Chinatown. Chinatown. Stop the. Stop the. Chinatown is not for sale. Chinatown is not for sale. Did we have some good conversations with our neighbors? Did we learn some things we maybe didn't know before in our conversations with our neighbors? We are stronger when we pull together, when we rely on each other's wisdom and insight. We can grow our value and our power. This has been a fabulous learning session, a fabulous teach-in. We have heard from great leaders and organizers to keep in mind some of the things that we were doing in the midst of this struggle. And we got one more thing before we wrap up today. There are going to be 4 stations for getting involved and actually plugging in. Now that you've had the conversation with your neighbor, now we want to go ahead and put some meat on those bones. We want to call out the station. I'm going to call out the purpose and the point of contact. As I call your name, the point of contact, the person who is handling that station, please stand up and make yourself really visible to the folks in this sanctuary. Okay? First, we're going to have a station to show your love, and the purpose of that station is to learn how to support small businesses in Chinatown. The first station is called Show Your Love, and the idea, the purpose of this is to learn how to support small businesses in Chinatown. Annabelle, is that you in the back? Y'all see Annabelle? Wave a little bit more crazy like. Okay, there you go. So if you want to learn how to support small businesses in Chinatown, I want you to go, not yet, but after we finish, I want you to go to meet Annabelle to have that discussion. The second station is called How to Talk About the Fight Effectively. The purpose of this is to get up to date on effective messaging. You all know sometimes movements can live and die on the narrative itself. So we want to get clear about how best to message this to leverage it for our win. And that will be led by Rosie May. Where's Rosie May? Y'all see Rosie May back there? That's it. All right, so we're going to find Rosie May. That is for How to Talk About the Fight Effectively. So again, Annabelle in the back is for Show Your Love. Rosie May is for How to Talk About the Fight Effectively. The third group is for community engagement. The purpose of this is to learn how to get involved in expanding our movement beyond Chinatown through door knocking, arts and culture outreach, and outreach to more industries. We want to make sure that we grow our power, deepen our bench, as it were. And that will be led by Allison. Where's Allison? Allison's right over here. Okay, so if you are interested in community engagement, going beyond the current, dimensions of where we're working and grow this thing deeper, go ahead and find Allison. And so the last group is city council visits. Now, some of you may have been around and know what the point of that is, but here we're trying to get involved in advocating directly to City Council about saving Chinatown and stopping the arena. So, as you know, elected officials in City Hall work for you. They work for the people. And so it is your right, your constitutional right, to lift up your concerns to your elected officials and let them know what you feel and where you stand. And so if you want to get in on that good fun, as Congressman Lewis, the late Congressman Lewis said, that good trouble, then go ahead and find Jenny over there. All right, Jenny? You see him? All right, so again, Show Your Love is Annabelle. How to Talk About the Fight Effectively is Rosie May. Community engagement is Allison. And then the city council visits are Jenny. Y'all got it? We're going to take about 20 minutes to have these discussions, to get up to speed on all of that, and then we're going to bring it back in to go ahead and close out the session. Is that all right? Stop the Chinatown! Chinatown! Stop the All right, let's break into our groups, y'all. Let's go ahead and make it and find our groups. 20 minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up.
I wanted to go to that one too. Maybe I'll jump in and go. There you go. Yeah. Good to see you.
Ellen. Yes.
He's been here before. They've done renovations. I know he looks good. See such an inspiration.
My whole life.
I know she does it. 60, 50. Come on. What must be saying?
like the wires are like very noisy, and you can just hear it coming out the speaker. But there's nothing like we can do to about that. I'm sure a lot of people that buy the audio equipment don't really know what it is. It's like, hey, this is for itself, and it paints the wires or something. But I got a good cover from the front. So, yeah, it's definitely like usable audio. We'll all break down pretty quick.
everybody leaves. Nice to see you on stage.
5 more minutes, and then we're going to reconvene back together. 5 more minutes, and then we'll reconvene back together to close out together.
Teach at Temple. Oh, in the film media arts department. How about you?
I'm an electrical engineer.
Oh, wow, fantastic. So you know all about cables and signals?
Yeah, I could do all the math from the light entering the lens to the sensor, and all of it. Theoretically, it would take me a long time to build it, but yeah, I could. Not that it helps with anything actually making a nice movie.
And then, yeah, I'm also one of the founders of Turbine TV Collective. It's a video art collective that's been around for 30 years. And, doing this as sort of part of that.
I've liked Philly's like film TV media scene a lot. I'm from like Detroit originally, but there's like a lot of people here, but it's not like so crowded. Like everyone's pretty welcoming.
Yeah, all the really aggressive people went to New York or LA already.
Yeah, they're just like packed in there, you know. So yeah, I only hear good things about Temple's program.
Oh yeah, it's really quite good. Yeah, good faculty, and then just students are really interested in the that's a really makes it great to be helping people with their projects. Yeah, for sure.
It's a beautiful church on the inside.
Yeah,
and the outside too.
Yeah.
Any idea if that organ's functioning? I keep on looking at it and it's like I want to see a silent film play.
Yeah.
They got the Redwood Theater in Detroit that still has the organ working, and they only use it maybe like once a month. But,
my son and daughter are in this choir, and they sing at this First Presbyterian Church of Germantown. And they have this amazing organ there, and just a couple times a year they have like a concert that involves the organist and the platform raises up.
Yes.
It's really the whole place is an instrument.
What's the name of the church?
First Presbyterian Church of Germantown. Yeah, that one definitely works.
Are you going to these other rallies? I'm already seeing a few other faces, speakers, and whatnot. I can't believe this discussion that's even being had about this area. I haven't met like one person in real life that is in favor of it. My friends and people out on the street. There's like a fantastically designed sports section. You can take the subway to it. It doesn't bother anybody else. It's like right on off the freeway to the drivers. All down the tailgates. It's no problem. There's no like legitimate reason besides. Even the convention center, it's only busy on 350 days a year. It's like whatever they projected for, you know, how often it'll be open, how many jobs will bring in, whatever. It doesn't quite hit that. Because it's like, maybe there'll be something on the weekend. Some people will go to the neighboring shop.
What everybody's doing is
15 seconds, 15 seconds, and we can begin to wrap up our conversations, close up our groups, and just come back into the center here as we wrap up our teach-in today. 7 seconds. Please wrap up your conversations and let's come back to the center as we close out our teach-in for today.
Someone should be able to, I don't know. I don't have that insight. Thank you for this.
Chinatown. Not for sale. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Chinatown. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose city? Our city. Whose city? Our city. Stop the land grab. Stop the land grab. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Chinatown. It's not for sale. Folks, we want to thank you all for having taken the time out on a Saturday to come together and to be community, to be concerned citizens talking with each other about ways that we can make sure that we stop the land grab, to be organized, to learn from each other, to hear from each other as we are trying to make sure that Chinatown is not for sale. We thank you for your time. I want to say proactively, as a request was made of me, I know it's Saturday the 3rd, but next Saturday, I believe, marks the start of the Lunar New Year. So happy Lunar New Year. Certainly, this is a fabulous way to begin the start of a new year, is making sure that we're grounded in our values and we're tightening our bonds as a community and a movement. So again, thank you so much for your time. We hope that you have learned something, that you have been able to take away some ideas about how to engage in a real sense. And we will see you down the movement road. Thank you so, so much. Have a fabulous weekend. Stop the Chinatown. Bless you.